Very warm good evening to one and all. Today we are going to have a fabulous discussion upon a wonderful topic. The name of the topic is why the corporate companies are struggling. My students have some different opinion. We need to find out why the corporate companies are struggling. Why these people are not getting such candidates who are having the competency, who are having the caliber, who are the charismatic personality, and they can undertake the task. Let us see what opinion my students have regarding the same topic. Why the corporate companies are struggling. Yes, let's begin with Yash.
Uh, so, according to me, why MNCs companies are nowadays struggling because the students don't get the proper career guidance. If the students get proper career guidance while completing their 10th itself, then they definitely get to know about their strengths and weaknesses. If the students get to know about their strengths, then they will do their higher educations in that particular fields. Suppose for an example, if the student is very good in science, then he can take science field, means 11th and 12th. If the student have a good knowledge of politics, then he may get the stream of commerce. So according to their weaknesses, the students should get the proper career guidance, and if they get proper career guidance, then they definitely make their higher educations in that and definitely achieve a good job after their higher education. And if they achieve a good job according to their hobby or according to their strengths, then definitely they will perform very good in that situation, and they will produce more productivity or bring more productivity throughout their work. So according to me, this is one point.
Wonderfully said. So Yash wanted to make a point that we unfortunately don't have proper career guidance when students are completing their education, specifically when the students are at 10th standard. We require such expert teachers who are letting you know what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, because once you know your strengths and weaknesses, you will be able to identify what career you should undertake. Yes or no? Yes. So it's very important that people should know their strengths and weaknesses, because you know what? After all, we have to go for a job. When we are going for a job, we should perform the task where we are finding interest and passion. If it is getting matched, then we will be able to produce a lot of creativity. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So this is the very first point Yash has pointed. Let us see what is the next point. Who will speak upon the next point? Yes, we have got Nisarga over here. Please, over to you.
I think some current education system focuses more upon gaining degrees. That means what? The more degrees you have gone through the quality check process. This is the mentality of the people. And current education system not highlighting that your information and your logical thinking, your reasoning ability, these things are the most important. They are busy in gaining the degrees, not the knowledge.
Wonderfully said. Wonderfully said. So what she wants to say that the current education system is limiting the mind of the students. It is not allowing the students to go beyond the books. It is not giving an opportunity to the students to think beyond horizons. Many students, they are unable to explore new ideas. So it's very important as a student, you need to work upon these things. She marked upon a fabulous point that we need to work upon the logical thinking, critical thinking, problem solving ability, analytical skills, reasoning ability. You should have all these qualities. Unless you develop these qualities, you cannot become a champion. You will always be having the opportunities in the market. But in schooling, in education, when we are going through colleges, these people, the teachers, they are not improving these qualities. These qualities plays vital role. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So it's very important to focus upon these things. Who's next? Very good. We have got Tejas to speak upon. Let's see.
Hello everyone. To understand this problem, we have to go in a history. So, what is actually root of this problem is when the British came in India in the early 90s. So, what they just made one rule. They just for their profit, they just passed one rule. They are not interested in what quality you have, what passion you have, what interest you have. What they're interested in that how to get a profit from Indians to by working them by just donkey by doing the donkey work. They just teaches us how to make profit for them, and we have to do only that work only. So there are only required three major factor people for three important factors: army, medical, and working labor. They just teaches us how to work for their profit, and the same tradition is were following for throughout the years and years. This is actually history of this all situation.
Wonderful. Anybody wants to add something onto this point? Britishers, he has taken us towards the history. He's trying to make a point that it was because of history, it was because of Britishers. We people have seen a drastic change in the education system. Anybody wants to add something onto it? Yes, we have got Sudhanshu.
One more point I want to say it. When Britishers came in India, and while they was going return, they made lots of changes in our country, and they made some changes in our education system because they never wanted Indians to raise their voice. They never wanted Indians can develop their logical reasoning, critical thinking, problem solving abilities. These things they never wanted the Indians can develop by themselves, because they need the laborers, and they made Indians the laborers. They made some changes in our education system. They changed the pattern, and they started making our Indian institution to follow the same pattern, and with the help of that we are not using our brain with the highest potential, and it has been followed from our long period of time. So thank you.
Wonderfully said. Wonderfully said. Yes, it was because of Britishers we people found a drastic change in our education system, and from that time onwards we started doing the studies which is degree oriented. We are doing the studies for the sake of degrees. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
And you know what? There was a fabulous person. He was the person, I mean, his name was Albert Einstein. He also mentioned in his thought, there is a famous quote by him, and it says that education is not learning of the fact, it is training of the mind to think. Somewhere it is lacking in our education system. Students are not given the opportunity to think. They are just cramming their studies and giving exams. So anybody wants to say or highlight this point? Anybody wants to add something onto it?
Sir,
Yes.
I want to say that corporate industries are struggling because in our education system, teachers are teaching the syllabus of 20th century, and we are living in 21st century. What is the use of such kind of education? What is the use of such kind of system here? With that, I want to say students are not getting the upgrade knowledge, and teachers are using the conventional, the orthodox type of method for students to aware about the topic. What is the use of such education? I think in our education system, teachers should not use the conventional method. And with that, I want to add one point here. Teachers in our education system, teachers are not doing the storytelling, because when they do the storytelling, students will drag the attention about the topic. They will understand more properly the topic, and they will never forget the topic. So I think that in our education system, teachers should do the storytelling.
Nicely said. Teachers are in a hurry to complete the syllabus. They are under a lot of pressure. They have to complete the topic within the syllabus within the given time, and these people are not focusing whether students are getting attention or not, whether the students are listening or not. They are least bothered about these things. So as a teacher, it's very important that you need to do storytelling. Well said by Yash. They should be able to drag the Tanmay, they should be able to drag the attention of the students. So this is not happening, and that is the reason why the quality of the students are not getting improved. Let us see who's next. Yes, we have got Shubham to speak upon this fabulous topic, why corporate companies are struggling and my students are trying to focus upon education system. Let us see what Shubham has to talk about the same.
According to me, corporate companies are struggling because of incompetent teachers. They are only focusing on practical education, but they are not focusing on they are not teachers. They are only focusing on theoretical education, but they are not focusing on the practical education. They do not go to the level of students. They never have a friendly relation with the student. Whenever students have a problem, they do not communicate with the teachers because of fear, and this gap between teacher and students. That's the reason is the fear.
Wonderfully mentioned. Shubham wants to say that the teachers are not focusing upon experiential learning. When you learn something, it's very important you should be implementing it. Students are not focusing upon implementation, whatever is being taught to them. They are learning for the sake of exams. They are just focusing upon their percentages. Anybody wants to add something onto this topic? Yes, we have got Nikhil to speak upon this topic.
According to me, some students are mugging up the syllabus and they giving exam, and they do not give importance to the actual implementation part, and they do not give importance to their career. When company will hire them, the company will providing 3-month training. That's
Wonderfully mentioned. So what he wants to say that once the selection is done in any MNC company, the candidates have to go through the training. I believe that once the students are completing their education, don't you feel that students are feeling like they are the illiterates? I mean, they don't remember anything because they have to go through the training process. In MNC companies, 3 months training is mandatory. Why it is mandatory? They don't find the candidates competent enough to perform the activities in the company. So in office organization, in MNC companies, they are letting people to go through the training process. Yes, wonderfully said. Who's next? Anybody wants to add something? Yes, we have got Shweta to speak upon.
So according to me, most of the students are attending their lectures or classes because they all think when they're attending their classes, they can make 75% attendance, and after that they will eligible for the exams. So according to me, this is the very bad thing in the education
It's a
system.
pathetic situation.
Yes.
It's a pathetic situation. Yes. So she wants to drag our attention towards very important issue. Students are going to colleges not for the sake of studies. They are going for the sake of marking their attendance. 80%, 75% attendance is mandatory for attending or giving the examinations. And that is the reason why students are going.
So I want to say,
One more thing you want to add, please go ahead.
sir, when we think, according to me, I observed that the Harvard and there is one of the most important famous university.
Stanford and Howard.
Yes, sir. They are both universities are very famous because their syllabus and teaching style is very different than other universities because they because of their education and education system is very different. They focus on 80% technical knowledge and they provide 20% theoretically knowledge. This is very important thing. But in other university, when we compare in India, sir, Indian education system is depend on only theoretical knowledge. They give to the student they focus on only theoretical knowledge. In India, we provide 80% theoretical knowledge, but just 20% practical knowledge or technical knowledge. This is a very difference between the both universities.
Yes, and it has also been observed number of times. It has been observed that when students are asked to perform upon the projects, students are going to market and they are purchasing the project from the market and they are submitting to the colleges, and teachers, they are least bothered to ask them whether they have performed the project by themselves or they have purchased it from the market. They are least bothered about it. So this is the pathetic situation which is happening in our education system. There has to be some change. Yes or no? Yes. Let us see who's next.
Currently education system is not focusing on making a student all-rounder. I want to give one example. Whenever at home some electrical related issues are happens, on that time my father becomes a electrician. Whenever at home some events are arranged, on that time my father becomes a artist or decorator. Whenever at home some problem with furniture, on that time my father becomes a carpenter. Whenever my car is breakdown, on that time my dad becomes a mechanical. In this way my dad is plays a lots of role in family.
Wonderful. It's a fabulous point. Current education system is not focusing upon making students all-rounder. Well said, Shubham. We need to focus upon these qualities as well. Because whenever we have any problem, that point of time, we are looking towards the faces of others. Why not you? When you have any problem, why not you are the solution for that problem? So current education system should also focus upon making students all-rounder. They should focus upon incorporating these soft skills in the students. How to defend themselves, how to save money, how to use nature to its best use, how to preserve nature for upcoming future. So these all things plays vital role. Yes or no? Yes, sir. So we have got, anybody wants to add something? Yes, we have got Tejas to add something.
I just want to highlight one important factor of life. Never compare yourself with each other, because if in this beautiful nature, if we take example, two beautiful creatures by God, there are a fish and a bird. Bird cannot swim and fish cannot fly. So we can say that if fish are thinking like, I cannot fly, how do I live my life? So he will spend his entire life in depression only. What he do actually, he focus on what he is in expert for, and the same for the bird. He is not wasting his time and getting depressed by thinking I cannot swim. I just want to just tell you that don't compare yourself with each other. Everyone has made differently, and just remember, if you get a less mark in exam also by another one, if you are comparing yourself, then don't get demotivated, because single sheet of paper cannot decide your future. So that's it.
So Tejas has made a fabulous point that students are blessed, everybody, the individuals are blessed with some or the another qualities. Whichever qualities you are master upon, keep on polishing that quality, you will get success. If you are not master upon different skills which you find very difficult upon, it will be a lengthy task, it will be very difficult. Whichever things you are passionate about, whichever things you have got lot of interest upon, whichever things you are very comfortably at, whichever things you are performing comfortably, that point of task you need to keep on doing. Only then you will get fabulous result.
They were not focusing on communication skill. That's why MNC company were struggling.
Yes, well said. Very good said. I mean, there are some students, they are still not perfect in English speaking skills. They are unable to convey their message to the crowd. I mean, when they have the opportunity to convey a message to some crowd, they are finding it quite difficult. Many people are not focusing upon communication skills. We should be able to keep our views in front of people rationally, logically, and constructively. And this is not happening, and that is the reason why corporate companies are struggling with such candidates. They require such people who are able to speak English effortlessly, who are able to convey messages and good ideas effortlessly, but hardly such candidates are, we are visible in corporate industries. Let us see who has another point. Yes, we have got.
According to Sarmi, many people don't have two attitude. Multiple tasking. I will perform only that much of work. How much I paid for? It's a bad attitude.
Yes, he is trying to focus upon a very important aspect. Let's have a clap upon this. What he wants to say that the mentality of the candidates, when new candidates are hired in the organization, they don't have working attitude. They don't have all-rounder attitude. They believe that I will perform only that much of task how much I am paid for. They don't believe in performing different activities. By doing so, you can be eligible for the hierarchies in the company. You should develop this attitude that you should do multitasking. We have got the best of energies with us at this age, and we should make money of it. So anybody wants to add something onto it? Yes, we have got Siddesh to speak upon.
Sir, one more reason for corporate companies are struggling. The reason name is COVID-19. Because of COVID, very small industries, small companies are closed. Therefore, I think the corporate companies are struggling because of COVID.
Very nicely said. It's a very important point. We cannot miss upon this point. Let's have a huge round of applause for him. Yes, we people are struggling because of COVID situations. Somehow we have overcame that situation now, and now the upcoming future can be great. It's very important as a youngster, you need to work upon 4 aspects. As a youngster, you need to focus upon 4 aspects: skill, imagination, creativity, and innovation. If you are having these skills, you will be always having a job. You will never be a jobless person. So it's very important to focus upon these 4 aspects as well. Anybody wants to add something? Yes, Yash.
Now, sir, I want to add one more point. Sir, in our society, there are some students who prefer for the outside studies. Means they do their studies from outside universities, and that period they will work. They will make their time. They will spend their time on other works. But if the student is genuine and he has some family issues, then it is okay to have such mindset. But nowadays it has become trend that students prefer outside educations and they spend their time on other things, and parents also support them. So nowadays the mentality of parents also has been changed. So I think that if the students are not going to college physically, then how would they gain the knowledge, actual knowledge, how they implement the practical knowledge which has been taught in colleges in their actual practice. So according to me, outside the students who do their studies from outside, they grab a job in MNC companies very easily according to their skills, means other skills, but they don't have the proper skills which are very important while doing their job in the companies. So I think this is one of the serious point which we have to look upon.
Yes. And you know what happens when the students are doing education external, corresponding courses, when people are doing that point of time, they believe that they can get all materials from internet. Internet can help you, but internet can help you just one way. You cannot have two-way communication. When you're learning something from internet, you cannot have two-way communication. Internet cannot be like a teacher. Teachers, they motivate you. They come to your level. They teach to you. They stimulate you. And they allow you to think out of box. Whenever you perform any grammatical errors. Computer or internet, it will just teach you, but they cannot rectify your mistakes. You need to have somebody who is, rectifying your mistakes every now and then. Mathematical calculations, if you are doing, you require somebody who is rectifying your mistakes. Computer, internet cannot do that. And teachers, they help you to think out of box as well. So with this, I would like to say that we have ended the topic. Before winding up, I would like to say thank you to all of you for joining me today's group discussion. We tried doing some brainstorming why the corporate companies are struggling, and with this I would like to say that in a nutshell it was a fabulous topic, and we need to do some changes. We need to modify the education system, and we need to bring out some drastic changes among the personalities, among the talent, and we need to work upon these things. Unless we work upon these things, we cannot be very good, talented people who are having high calibers, and then we will be having good jobs in the corporate companies as well. With this, I would like to sign off today. My name is Santokh Singh, and this is my entire team of Dr. English. We want to sign off, and we want to say thank you so much for watching this video. Thanks you once again.